Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome back to part 11. One of the questions that I always hear whenever I go to business events or social media trainings, or there's just an opportunity to ask questions, maybe it's one-on-one work that I'm doing, is so many people are looking for that right answer. And often it is that phrase of, which platforms do you think I should be on? Where should I do this? What's trending? What's popular at the moment? And yes, of course, there are things that are statistically moving in one way or another. And at the same time, some platforms are never going to showcase the best version of you. Meaning, there will be some platforms that are better suited to you than others. And so instead of trying to find the right one and the most guaranteed one, which I think is really difficult to be able to claim, I want to ask you this. Where can you get in the flow? How can you get in the flow? How can you visit a platform and really showcase who you are? So I do love to write. I did English A-level. It's not something that I find difficult. I love to be able to articulate my feelings in that way. However, I know that in order to speak to my audience, video for me personally at this age and stage of life is a better use of my time, because I personally, when I'm looking for a coach, I need to see them. I need to understand who they are, what they're all about. And so I want you to think about those moments that have maybe previously worked for you really well in the past. Maybe they've been those moments where loads of clients came to a particular blog post or a video, or maybe you're just really great at being interviewed and you need to do more podcast interviews. Maybe you need to be in the room more with people so people can feel your magnetic energy, whatever it might be. The game is never about ticking the boxes. It's about finding the places and the spaces where you can really excel. The next thing I want you to look at is, how can you, through your visibility, truly help your ideal clients? And I think that too many people are making decisions about certain groups of people, certain scenarios, certain processes, without actually walking in their shoes. That's why so many founder stories have become so brilliant at growing really fast business, if it has come from a particular perspective, urge, need for that person, something that they were missing in the market, and then they understood the importance of filling that gap, of finding that solution, and then building it from there. Those businesses, if they have the right infrastructure, are more likely to do well because there's a purpose, there's a momentum, there's a impact behind it. And too often, I think, we are assuming that other people are like us, or we are assuming that people will carry on doing the work and we'll just sell them the course and it will all be fine. I want you to, every step of the way, whether you're creating visibility in terms of your marketing and talking about your products, whether you're going out there and talking about your personal brand, whether the work that you do one-on-one, when people see you, whether that's one-on-one or whether that's on a course, on a video link, make sure that you are being really, really specific, thoughtful, considered in setting up your clients for success. Too many people online are telling really long-winded stories that are interesting to listen to, but they don't help your client move to the next spot. Think about the next bit. I often think about this on Christmas Day. Sometimes I think these manufacturers who make these toys, who make these things that you have to build, They're really, they're delivering big things. They're like, we're going to create this instruction manual in 20 different languages for you, so you're covered in that way. And we're also going to make it really, really long and extended, and we're going to give you everything that we need to know. When your kids open those presents on Christmas Day, and my daughter this year got a scooter and my son got a Switch, those kids, even though we teach them patience and waiting, those kids kind of want that thing to be ready and good to go within the next half an hour. I mean, an hour tops, ideally. The Switch took a bit longer. And so what you have to consider is the person who is actually building that thing on Christmas Day, who's getting it going, who's got a child going, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Can I have a chocolate? Can I have this? Can I have a go? Can I step on this thing? And you've got all the stuff all over the living room floor. You've got wrapping paper. You've got people coming in and out. It's busy. So I want you to think about your visibility in that way. Are you being vague and generic, or are you being specific, to the point, and connecting with your audience and exactly where they're at? The next thing I want you to do is to think about the before and the after and the messy middle. I know that most of us want to show up in that professional way where we are the finished article. It's like, yes, we're all sorted, and this, I've completed it. I've mastered this thing. However, I believe there's always a new level. And so sharing who you are in the good times and in the stretchy times, and sometimes doing it retrospectively, is absolutely fine as well. But showing who you are in those points of life, those challenges, those moments where you meet adversity, those times where you are strengthening your skills or you're training, or those times where you have successes, bring us behind the scenes. I think too many people are focusing on, like, I've just got to be professional. I've just got to put a front on. I've just got to make everything perfect. And if you are in a process of helping people, I think showing people behind the scenes, or what you're thinking, or how you want to do this. And this can also, this doesn't have to be bearing your soul. This could be you as a psychologist, for example. Instead of just saying, hi, I know everything, you saying, here are 3 books that really spoke to me this year, that really changed the way that I practice. Or this one quote is now across my desktop, and I see it every time when I log into my computer, because it's made me think about this particular concept in a different way. We want to see that. One final advantage to that also is that we see that you're alive. We see that you are flourishing and bending and flexing and pivoting, and you're in the room, you're in the scenario. And that means that your work is going to be lively. It's going to be fresh. It's going to have energy behind it. As soon as somebody moves into the hi, I'm an expert status, and they just sit back and they wait for the thing, it feels like the person who is coming to you almost has to impress you. And that is not the case. That is not the way for transformation. Yes, you want them to be ready and prepared, but also you want them to feel that they can play as well. Let me know how that lands for you today. If you want to speak up and you really want to work on your visibility in this next 12 months and beyond, come and join Speak Up. At the moment, there is a 20% discount. So if you want to just add magic at checkout, nickyraby.com/speak up, you can choose from 3 options. You get instant access, and it's going to change your visibility. Therefore, it's going to change your business. Therefore, it's probably going to change your bank account as well. More details, send me an email, hello@nickyraby.com. Otherwise, I'll see you for part 12. As always, like, subscribe, follow along with the playlist, and I'll see you next time. Bye.